Good morning. Buenos dias. And welcome to our first Unitarian Universalist Church of San Antonio. Our weekly worship is where we connect, share information, and inspiration. My name is Rebecca Murillo, and this is my husband, Francisco. And we have two children, Lyra and Hugo. We first attended UU in 2022. We currently serve as members of the Stewardship Committee. Our minister, Reverend XK, is out this Sunday, and he will return on November 23rd.
Our faith is all-inclusive, and all means all. We strive to enact a universal love that binds us in mutual care and affection, especially in our work for justice for our planet and all its people. We recognize that our ancestors came from different homelands, and we acknowledge that we gather here in the homeland of the Cualtecan people called Yanaguana. They have lived here for 8,000 years, yet still struggle for rights over their sacred heritage sites.
For friends and visitors who are sympathetic with our values of love, compassion, community, and justice, and who are interested in membership, please speak with a greeter, our minister, or any member. All of us are here to help you know that you belong in this community and you're welcome here as you are. We have a membership book that you need to sign and a new member orientation that we'd love to share with you. Each Sunday, we greet one another so we might know who is journeying with us. Please take this moment to turn to one another and greet your travel companions.
Good morning. Good morning again. My name is Jim Noel. I'm also with the Stewardship Committee and the choir. And this morning I have opening words. Arthur Brooks writes, "How to be thankful when you don't feel thankful." Gratitude, if you see it as something that happens to you because of your circumstances, might feel a bit out of reach, but that's the wrong way to approach it. Gratitude isn't a feeling that materializes in response to our circumstances. It is a practice. And even if you feel that you have little to be grateful for this year, you can and should engage in it. Thankfulness has been strongly and consistently shown to raise human beings' happiness. Giving thanks also makes us better people. Approximately 2,000 years ago, Cicero wrote that gratitude is not only the greatest, but is also the parent of all the other virtues. Modern research shows that he was probably right. Gratitude can make us more generous with others, more patient, and less materialistic. Gratitude also appears to be at least partially under our control. Researchers have shown that you can call it into existence by choosing to focus on the things for which you are grateful instead of the negatives in your life. The obvious implication from the research is that you should start a gratitude journal immediately, regardless of your feelings. At first it takes some effort, but as scholars have shown, it becomes easier as it becomes a habit. This morning the Chalice will be lit by the Murillo family. The flaming chalice unites our members in worship and symbolizes the spirit of our faith. Now join us in stand in body or spirit in the opening hymn, number 128 in the gray hymnal, For All That Is Our Life.
We are called as Unitarian Universe to build the beloved community where all are welcome as blessings. Let's recite our covenant that articulates our promises and binds us together. Please read together. Love is the doctrine of the church, the quest of truth in its sacrament, in service in its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship. The end, all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine, thus to be covenant with each other.
El amor es la doctrina de esta iglesia. Su sacramento es la búsqueda de la verdad y su oración es el servicio. Convivir en paz, buscar sabiduría en libertad, dar a la humanidad nuestro servicio fraternal para que todas las almas crezcan en armonía con la divinidad. Así pactamos el uno con el otro.
So now is the time for our stone ceremony, but first I'll introduce myself. My name is Tim Versteeg. My pronouns are he, him, and it's my great pleasure to be the director of Lifespan Religious Education in this church. Sporadic applause, thank you. Stones are solid and enduring and grounding, and each stone we hold represents our individual strength, our shared foundation, and the lasting impact we have on each other. So if you are willing and able, please come forward for our stone ceremony at this point.
number of entries in our community book of life this morning. It would take a garden of flowers to express my gratitude for the many cards, messages, and the grand party celebrating my birthday. I am blessed by this community. Of course, from Martha Cooley. And another birthday, happy birthday to the fabulous Jessica Latimer. There's Jessica this morning. And also, let's celebrate Heather Hedquist's birthday. And last but not least, celebrating my son Gail's second birthday, and there's birthday cake near the coffee. And finally, Rosalie Falcon writes that she's elated that 80 to 90 protesters gathered in Bandera yesterday to express our concerns about the current political condition of our country. Our pastoral meditation today comes from Parker Palmer, who's a Quaker theologian often referenced by Unitarian Universalists. There was a time when farmers on the Great Plains at the first sign of a blizzard would run a rope from the back door of their house out to the barn. They all knew stories of people who had wandered off and been frozen to death, having lost sight of home in a whiteout while still in their backyards. Today, we live in a blizzard of another sort. It swirls around us as economic injustice, ecological ruin, physical and spiritual violence, and their inevitable outcome, war. It swirls within us as fear and frenzy, greed and deceit, and indifference to the suffering of others. We all know stories of people who have wandered off into this madness and been separated from their own souls, losing their moral bearings and even their mortal lives. The lost ones come from every walk of life: clergy and corporate executives, politicians and people on the street, celebrities and school children. Some of us fear that we or those we love will become lost in the storm. Some of us are lost at this moment and are trying to find our way home. Some are lost without knowing it, and some are using the blizzard as cover while cynically exploiting its chaos for private gain. My own experience of this blizzard, which includes getting lost in it more often than I like to admit, tells me that the soul's order can never be destroyed. It may be obscured by the whiteout. We may forget or deny that its guidance is close at hand, and yet we are still in the soul's backyard with chance after chance to regain our bearings. Blessed be. And now it's time for me to move, because it is time for our story. Thanks, Pat. So come on down, the young and young at heart. We are going to read about stone soup, and someone is going to help us with this. Well, I've got, there we go. There's Sarah. I knew there was someone coming with props. So Sarah is going to be our prop person, and we are going to read the story. Sorry. Yes. There was once a comfortable little village nestled in the mountains, and the people who lived there had more than enough to keep themselves content. One day, two travelers came along, and their coats were tattered, their hats were torn, their dusty shoes had holes in their soles. Hungry and tired, one traveler said to the other, "Surely someone here can spare some food." They knocked boldly on a door. It creaked open, and a woman asked, "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the travelers, "we are hungry. Do you care? Will you share? Do you have any food?" The woman squinted her eyes and tartly replied, "No." She quickly slammed the door shut. The travelers walked a little farther down the road, and knocked on another door. A young boy answered, and his chocolate brown eyes were sweet. "Good day," he said shyly. "What do you want?" "Please," said one of the travelers, "we are hungry." "Do you care? Will you share?" "Do you have any food?" The boy replied, "There is no food here," and closed the door. The travelers wandered wearily through the village, knocking on every door, but everywhere they heard, "I don't care, I won't share, there is no food." They sat to rest beside a well. One traveler sighed and clutched his empty belly. He said, "If there is really no food in this elegant little village, then the people who live here are in greater need than we are. We should make them our magical soup." The two travelers climbed up on the edge of the well and shouted, "We are master cooks. If anyone in this town has a big black pot or silver pot, we will make the most delicious soup anyone ever tasted." A door slowly opened and a round man emerged carrying a giant black pot. "I love to eat," he said. "Here's a pot. Let me see what two master cooks can do with it." "Watch and see," said one traveler with glee. The travelers filled the pot with cold water and built a fire, and soon the flames licked the sides of the pot, and billows of steam rose into the air. Curious people began to gather. "What is happening?" the townspeople asked. "We are making an unusual soup," said one of the travelers. "It requires a special magical ingredient. I am certain we will find it in this town." All the eyes in the crowd, thank you for the stone soup, in the crowd watched as one of the travelers reached down and picked up an ordinary stone. He tossed it into the pot with a splash or a clang. "We're making stone soup," he said. "It will be nutritious, delicious, incredible, and edible. But it would taste better," he paused and sighed, "if we only had a carrot." "Where would we find a carrot in this town?" the other traveler asked. "We knocked on every door and everywhere we heard, 'I don't care, I won't share, there is no food.'" "Then perhaps we cannot make the delicious soup after all," they both announced with a sad shrug of their shoulders and began to turn away. A child timidly raised his hand and said, "Wait, I might have a carrot." "You might have a carrot. You might have a carrot." "Excellent," said the travelers. "Bring what you've got, put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. The magical soup would taste even better if we had a potato." "Does anybody have a potato?" "Wonderful," shouted the travelers. "Bring what you've got, put it in the pot. We're making stone soup. It would taste better still if we had just a few more ingredients." "Perhaps," said one villager, "I could bring a green bean." "Well, if you're going to bring a green bean, I will bring a kernel of corn." "I shall not be outdone," cried another. "I will bring an egg noodle." One by one, the voices announced, "I will bring a slice of celery. I will bring a pinch of pepper. I can bring a sprig of parsley. I might have a tiny turnip." "Well, why are you waiting?" cried the travelers. "Bring what you've got. Put it in the pot. We're making stone soup." Everyone in the town ran home to bring one small thing to put in the pot. Food flew through the air and landed with splashes in the growing soup. Soon the huge pot was full and simmering. A wonderful smell drifted through the air. The smell was so tempting, people brought our bowls, spoons, chairs, and tables, and they placed hearty loaves of bread, chunks of cheese, and bowls of fruit on the tablecloths. Everyone came to taste the soup and marveled at the flavor. "It's amazing," said one woman. "These two travelers made such a delicious soup out of a stone." "Out of a stone," said the travelers with a grin, "and a magical ingredient, sharing." As the travelers left the town, they said, "If anyone ever wants to make this soup again, just remember the recipe. Bring what you've got, put it in the pot. Every bit counts from the largest to the least. Together we celebrate a stone soup feast." And before everybody leaves, we have one more thing to do this morning. Miss Pat and Ms. Kathy have been teaching our K-1 OWL for the last little while. And for those of you in the congregation who may not be aware, Al was Our Whole Lives, and a very important program in our churches that helps with sexuality education at age-appropriate levels. And we have a number of graduates from our program today. So Pat, if you want to just give me the name. So we have Amira. There you go. Congratulations. And Merrick. Where's Merrick? And we had two more that participated in the program but were unavailable to be here today, Sophia and Ronan. So congratulations, folks. And now, if you are going to the playground, Valerie and Halen are waiting to welcome you.
Good morning. Y buenos dias. My name is Alicia Smart, and my pronouns are she, her. I've been a member of this church since the summer of 2023. I am a member of the Stewardship Committee and the editor for Inspire, which is our online magazine, accessible via Substack and the church website. By trade and education, I am a writer, content designer, and technical communicator. As of September 1st this year, I also accepted an offer to serve as your congregational security planning coordinator. Thank you. This role is an 18-month contract covered by the FEMA Nonprofit Security Program grant, for which our church was approved earlier this year. The Nonprofit Security Grant Program provides funding support for target hardening and other physical security enhancements to nonprofit organizations that may be at risk. It is designed to promote coordination and collaboration in emergency response activities among public and private community representatives. This grant has allowed for the installation of new video surveillance and access control systems on our campus, and, as many of you may have noticed, the presence of off-duty SAPD officers in our courtyard. It is our intent to maintain goodwill with these officers as they provide security during our Sunday morning worship services for the 18-month duration of the grant. On September 25th of this year, our board president, Noel, and church administrator Mary Wright, and myself attended the Interfaith Safety and Security Symposium, hosted by the Interfaith San Antonio Alliance and Fusion Center at Public Safety Headquarters downtown. There, we were able to connect with Fusion Center agencies and gather resources for upcoming exercises, trainings, and campus evaluations. The grant program requires our organization to plan, schedule, and facilitate training for a minimum of 30 key staff and volunteers, and to develop and disseminate an awareness and preparedness campaign. And so far, we've had an amazing response from the congregation on this initiative, with well more than 30 individuals expressing interest in participating. We are still in the planning phase of this program, so please look for training announcements in the What's Happening emails after January 1st. In addition, we have assembled a group of individuals to serve as a congregational security task force. These are individuals in our congregation who have offered their specific knowledge and expertise in security, threat mitigation, and emergency medical response training to help us complete the requirements of the grant program. And I know not all of these people were able to be here today, but I want to give them a big thanks anyway. If you have volunteered to serve on the task force, and if you are willing and able, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much. Thanks so much. And we will have our second meeting in room 404 today after service, technically after the congregational meeting. Anyway, so at the conclusion of the 18-month grant program, it is my hope and goal that this temporary task force will become a permanent security committee that continues to serve our congregation in maintaining these efforts, keeping our campus safe and prepared for years to come. If you are interested in joining the task force or would like to be included in communications specific to training events, please feel free to reach out to myself or the church office. Thank you so much.
Okay, my name is Samantha McLaughlin, and my pronouns are she, her. I currently serve as your stewardship chair. This is my this is my first time speaking up here, so be nice, but so I know that many of you hear the word stewardship. You may immediately think of pledges and budgets and maybe thermometers, but that's not what I want to talk about today. Today I want to talk about the other side of stewardship, the side that's less about money and more about the love, the time, and the talent that this congregation pours. And since all of us just heard the story of Stone Soup together, I'm not going to tell it. But I do want to name one thing that it teaches us. Stewardship is what happens when everyone brings what they can, and somehow the pot just becomes bigger and richer than anything we could have made alone. And this year, this congregation has made one incredible pot of soup. Let me start with one example you just witnessed this morning. You saw our OWL graduation. Those children completed a program that, once you include the older kids, takes over 300 volunteer hours a year to make happen. OWL takes real commitment. Our volunteer facilitators train, prepare, and show up week after week, because they believe that every child deserves truth about their body, their boundaries, their identity, and their worth. Something they may not get anywhere else outside their home. An owl is just one ingredient. Another beautiful example from just a few weeks ago, we had our Halloween party. All the decorations, all the food, all the setup, the cleanup, that was this congregation, that was stewardship. And it wasn't just a party, it mattered. It mattered because joy matters. It mattered because when our kids have memories of running around in costumes, playing games, laughing with their friends, and knowing their church is a place where joy is welcomed and celebrated, it's a place they want to be. It's a place they want to come back to. This is how we raise future UUs. That is stewardship. And within that Halloween celebration, something else meaningful happened. Our middle schoolers created their second annual haunted house. They planned it, they decorated it, ran it, and they were so proud. That is stewardship. And stewardship shows up outside of holidays too, in the rhythms of our community life. One place we see it is in our fund lunches. The cooking, the hauling of crock pots, setting up tables, labeling of foods, and loading of dishes. Again, that is stewardship. Feeding people is one part, but so is feeding the spirit and nurturing our young people. Our religious education volunteers show up every week so our kids can feel at home here in a place where identity is celebrated and not questioned. And speaking of caring for our young people, our parents contribute their own ingredients as well. With kids in tow, they show up, they sign up, and they help build the kind of community so many of us desperately need. And they bring that future with them. And the beauty is they're supported here. Parenting can be isolating, and yet this church gives parents a place to breathe, to laugh, to swap advice, and to remember that they're not doing this alone. And showing up is stewardship. Across generations, stewardship keeps showing up. Our church has an active retired women's group that is irreplaceable. So many of their members quietly jump in to fix a problem or offer support, stepping in to help at an event or getting something fixed, checking in on someone who's struggling, or showing up early to make sure things run smoothly. And of course, not all stewardship is visible. Some of it happens quietly behind the scenes. At any given moment, someone from this church could be sitting on a Zoom call, planning an event, troubleshooting a tech issue, or preparing for a service. Just choosing to give their time to make this church happen. And stewardship isn't only about what happens inside these walls. It shows up in our public presence too. Our Justice Committee spent this year marching and advocating and showing up and showing our city what love looks like in public. They participated in one of the largest marches in US history on October 18th, and they marched carrying all of us with them. Every committee, every volunteer, every person who taught, baked, marched, organized, emailed, decorated, planted, sang, set up chairs, washed dishes, every one of you added something to this pot. This is stewardship, and you have done it beautifully. So now I want to talk about the stone in our pot, the thing that doesn't look like much, but is the foundation of everything. For us, that stone is our shared faith, the belief that if everyone gives what they can of their time, treasure, talent, and their heart, something good will come of it, even if we can't see it yet. Because when we pool our ingredients, we create something that none of us could have built alone. So all of these ingredients, every act, every hour, every bit of care, leads me to the video you're about to see. I made this video to show the outcome of all this work. The thousands of hours of cooking, marching, teaching, emailing, comforting, singing, planning, loving. It's a way of showing this community feels like when all the ingredients come together. And this is just the tiniest slice. Just on my phone, I had over 850 pictures from church this year, and I promise I won't make you sit through a service that long. Not to mention all of the events that happened that I was not at. The music you'll hear is Proud Corazon, which was performed here this year by our UU choir, which, again, is an act of stewardship. Every rehearsal they do, every note, every instrument we hear on Sundays is someone giving their time and their talent so the rest of us can feel held. And that is exactly what stewardship is to me. So as you watch this video, I hope you see yourselves. I hope you feel proud of what you helped create. I hope you recognize your ingredients in the pot, even if it might have seemed small at the time. Because when you put all that together, you get community, you get connection, you get love that feeds people's spirits, you get a proud heart. Thank you for all the heart you put into our pot, and now I invite you to enjoy the video.
I think that was my favorite choir performance this year. Sam put a lot of work into that, and we really appreciate her leading our stewardship committee. I just want to give her another round. And now it's time for our invitation to generosity. We drink water from wells we did not dig. We eat fruit from trees we did not plant. We all benefit from each other's labors. In this spirit, I encourage you to give generously so that we may support one another, our congregation, and our larger community. This month's Share the Plate recipient is American Indians in Texas at the Spanish Colonial Missions, a nonprofit organization established in 1994 by the Tapbilam Coheltecan Nation, descendants of the Aboriginal people who populated South Texas and Northeast Mexico. The organization works for the preservation and protection of the culture and traditions of the Native American tribes and other indigenous people who resided in the Spanish colonial missions. To give to this worthy organization, place your cash or check donations into today's offering. You may also donate online anytime this month on our website at www.uusat.org. Click on the donation button and use the Share the Plate option. In the spirit of trust and generosity, we gratefully accept this offering. Our closing hymn is number 404 in the gray hymnal, What Gift Can We Bring?
Chalice extinguishing, first, as a reminder, there will be a congregational meeting right following this service. Members are invited and encouraged to stay to make sure we've got quorum. Polly wants to say something because she's jumping up. And then I'll do the benediction. Nope, that was what I just wanted to remind people.
Thank you all. We will be starting in a few minutes. For those of you who are not staying, please try and go ahead and exit as quickly as possible from the sanctuary. For those of you who are staying, feel free to get up, move your legs, go use the restroom, but then please try and come back as quickly as possible so we can be seated and try and start on time. For the choir members who arrived early, if you are staying, please, if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you are checked in for the meeting and get a pink slip for those of you who are eligible voting members. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so childcare is being provided by Elizabeth and Claire. It will be in the building with the nursery. 4, thank you. So pick your kids up from the playground first, though, before you take them over to 4. All right, extinguishing our chalice. We got there in the end. From Theodore Parker, be ours a religion which, like sunshine, goes everywhere. Its temple, all space. Its shrine, the good heart. Its creed, all truth. Its ritual works of love. Its profession of faith, divine living. Go in peace or stay for the meeting.